Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is the look I filmed for you today. I have used the Subculture palette by Anastasia. This is the second video that I filmed using it, and honestly I still love the palette. I did have a few hiccups which you will see in this video, but I still love the palette. I'm still going to continue to use it, and I will still continue to buy products from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I hope you love the look I created at the end. If you do, please leave me a comment. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon as well, and that will give you notifications every time I post. You can also follow me on all of my socials, and I'll pop them all down in the description bar along with all of the products that I've used. So if you want to learn how to create this look, please keep on watching. Okay, so the palette I'm going to use today is obviously Subculture again, but today I'm going to do a completely different look to the last look I did with this. So the first shade I'm going to use is this one right here. This one is called Dawn, and I'm just taking that on a Zoeva 221 brush, and I'm taking this all the way through the crease. So I'm using sort of slight circular motions on the inner and outer corners, and then through the crease I'm using a windscreen wiper motions. I still sound really sick. I don't feel sick anymore, like I don't feel ill, but I still sound really ill, and I still have this annoying cough. And I sound super stuffy, it's so gross. And I'm also going to, no I'm not, no I ain't. So now I'm going to start building up the inner and outer corners, because this is going to be a nice spotlight look, as you would have already seen in my intro. So I'm just going to take that same 221 brush, and I'm going to start with the shade New Wave. So it's this nice peachy orange shade, really pretty. And I'm going to start packing that onto the inner and outer corners. And I'm not worrying too much about actually blending it right now. I'm just concentrating more about getting the pigment and the colour onto the lid. And then I'm just using light motions just to blend the edges out. Okay, so now I want to start building up the inner and outer corner even more. I want to make them really, really dark. So I'm going to take the shade All Star, and this I know is one of the shades that a lot of people have a problem with it being patchy. I'm going to start packing that onto the inner and outer corner. So far the colour is actually going on really nicely. It's not patchy, it's going on super dark, but we'll see when we blend it out. And then I'm just going to take that brush that I used, the New Wave, and I'm just going to start sort of tickling the edges. Okay, I'm actually going to switch my brush. This one is the first time that I've actually experienced any patchiness with this palette. I'm just going to take a tiny little bit of that shade on my Zoeva 224 brush. And then I'm going back in with my Zoeva 231 just to pack that colour back on again. Then what I'm going to do is just take a clean brush, like I always do, and run that right along the edge, just to make sure everything is really seamless. So now on the other eye, I am going to try and attack it from a different angle. I'm not going to pack the colour on first. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of the All Star shade, and I'm going to start lightly blending that through the crease area on the inner and outer corners. So like instantly that is already blending so much better. It's not coming out patchy. And all I'm doing is just applying it with a slightly fluffier brush and approaching it with more of like a blending technique rather than packing it onto the lid first. And then I am going to go back in with my 231 and I'm going to pack that colour on now and see see what happens. And then back in with my 224. Blend that out. Yeah, okay, so that is applied a lot nicer on this side when I've approached it with the blending technique first. So what I would say for this colour is if you're going to apply it to your eye and you want it to be, you want to pack it like all over your lid or something, I would say blend it through the crease first and then pack it on after, because then you're not going to get it sort of like sticking in any areas. I don't know if you can see on this eye, but you can see just right here and then right here, it is a little bit darker in the crease where it grabs a little bit better than it has here. But on this side you don't really get much of that because I did blend first. And with palettes like this, when the pigment is so strong in a eyeshadow and they are pressed quite softly, you do have to play around with them a little bit for a while to get used to them and how to apply them. And then I'm just going back in with New Wave just right along the edges. So now I'm going to apply the darkest shade that I'm going to use today, and that one is Rowdy, this one here. I think this was another one of the shades that people had trouble with, but let's find out for ourselves. So I'm taking my Zoeva 230 pencil brush and I'm just going to start packing that on, and this is like so dark, it's like almost black purple. And then I'm going back in with the brush that I used for All Star, the 224. So it's doing a little bit of the same sort of thing that All Star did when I pack it on first and then try and blend it. It is sticking more in the crease. So what I'm going to do on the inner corner is just take a little bit on my 224. And try and blend that. And yeah, definitely that still works better. Exactly the same as All Star. Works better if you blend first and then pack on after. And then I'm just taking my brush that I used for New Wave, just right along the edges again to make sure everything is blended. That is the thing with super pigmented eyeshadows, pigment does grab. So if there's anything there, even if you think you've set your base, like I set my base really well, but there still could be something there that the pigment is going to attract to and it's just going to grab to. So applying it in different ways, like with a fluffy blending brush, is going to distribute the product really evenly rather than packing it on. So whatever is on the tip of the brush, and say I'm popping my brush right in here, that tip of the brush is going right into my crease and it's pressing whatever pigment is on the tip of the brush right into the crease. So blend first and then I would say pack on after. Okay, so now I'm just going to do that on the other eye and I'm going to do the blending and then the packing after. So now that I've finished with the top of the eye, I'm just going to clean up the center of the lid, and I'm just taking a bit of Prolong Wear concealer on this palette just with a little brush, and I'm hardly using any product at all because I don't want to put too much product on. And what I'm going to do is just tap that into the center on both eyes. And then I'm going to flip the brush around and like wipe it off a bit. And then I'm going to start sort of patting that just towards the edges just to blend it. So the eyeshadow has actually mixed with the concealer, and it's turned into this like quite nice grey purple. So then I'm just going to do that on the other side as well. And I'm lightly just going to set that with Dawn from the palette. And I'm just using like a flat shader brush. And then I'm going to go back in with my 224 and a little bit of Rowdy. Just to make sure the edges of the spotlight are nicely blended. So now I'm just going to copy what is on the lid and I'm going to mirror it on the lower lash line. Actually going to take a clean brush. So I'm going to take my Morphe M506 brush and I'm going to take New Wave. I'm going to run that all the way to the center of the lower lash line on the inner and outer corners. I'm going to leave the center bare. And then I'm going to go in with, I feel like I'm just going to use the same brush. No, I'm not. I'm not going to use the same brush. Now I'm just going to take my Spectrum A07 brush and I'm going to take All Star and I'm just going to lightly blend that right over top of where we've laid that New Wave shade. See, from these shades, like my tutorial I filmed the other day with the more greeny shades, I didn't really get a lot of fallout, but with these shades I am experiencing more fallout. I mean, not a lot, but a lot more than I was with the other shades. It annoys me when things don't work on this eye because this is like my photo taking eye. Real pisses me off actually. So now I'm just taking my pencil brush and I'm taking Rowdy. I'm gonna start building that up to try and see if we can get rid of this little bit of patchiness that I am experiencing right about now. So to blend that out, I am going to take that Morphe brush again and a little bit of New Wave. And I'm going to take that right along the edges. But I don't want to disrupt the colour too much. And hopefully this is just going to connect it really nicely. I mean, something's happening. And then I'm going to take my 221 brush again with New Wave, just right along the edge here. And then I'm just going to take this Morphe M559 brush and a bit of a Rowdy. I'm going to like focus that right along the lash line. And I might even put that into my waterline as well. So what I'm going to do is leave that for the time being. I know it looks very messy right up in here, but we're going to clean that up when we do foundation. But for now I'm just going to finish off the top lid. So I'm going to be applying glitter to the center of my eye. And this is the glitter that I'm going to be using. It's like my spirit animal glitter. I've been looking for a glitter like this for so long. So you can see it's green there and then it shifts to like this orangey bronze. So pretty. Very autumnal. Very fall. So I'm just taking a small detail brush, just synthetic, and I'm dipping it into my lip adhesive. And I'm just gonna sort of press this all over the center of my lid. And then I'm gonna dip that same brush into the glitter. I'm gonna start right in the center. I don't know if you can see how beautiful this is on the camera, but it's so pretty. So now I'm just going to take a clean makeup wipe and I'm just going to wipe away the fallout before I do my foundation. We're looking a little bit better now. So I'm going to do my foundation now and then I'm going to do lashes and stuff after, just because I want to allow the glitter to dry a little bit more first. So I'm going to apply my foundation, and the foundation I'm going to use is my all-time fave Born This Way foundation by Too Faced. I haven't used this for a while, but I've gone back to it because I love it. So I'm just going to take a couple of pumps onto my palette, a pump and a half actually, and then I'm just going to take my beauty blender. Can you believe this was the bubble one? Like, I know I used this yesterday and I do need to wash it, but it didn't stay like baby pink for very long. It just like the colours washed straight out of it and it's just gone like creamy white now. And I'm pouncing that all over my face. So, and now for concealer, I'm going to take my MAC Pro Longwear and I'm just going to apply a little bit underneath my eyes. And then I'm just going to blend that out with my beauty blender. And then for extra coverage and brightness, I am going to mix these two as well. So this one is the Kat Von D and the Urban Decay Naked Skin. So I don't actually have a lot of these left, so I have to take the little stopper out and they're really messy now, but I'm just going to dot a couple of these, a bit of this underneath both eyes. And this one's mainly for coverage, and then I use the Urban Decay one more for brightness. So I'm just going to blend this one out first. And I'm literally just taking the Naked Skin from Urban Decay, literally just there. And then to set that, I'm just going to take some Laura Mercier powder. So I'm taking the Laura Mercier powder and I'm just going to melt that into my under eyes. I'm not baking. Baking just doesn't work for me. It just makes my under eyes hella dry. Okay, so my camera cut out because overheated, but I just went ahead and did the glitter underneath of my eyes. And now I'm just going to apply my highlighter. You know, I'm just going to use Gilded Honey because I love her. So I'm just taking Gilded Honey on a Morphe M510 brush. So the bronzer I'm going to be using is obviously going to be the Marc Jacobs Tantric bronzer. It's my favourite ever. I'm just taking it on a Zoeva 101 brush. And then to contour, I'm using the Shade and Light palette by Kat Von D as always. And I'm actually going to use the Shade and Light brush with this as well. So I'm just taking the shade end and I'm dipping into the middle shade. I'm also just going to take the very tip of the brush right here into the middle shade. I'm dipping into the middle and the first shade. So the first shade is very cool. So I'm dipping into both to mix them. I'm tapping off all of the excess. And then I'm really lightly going just that along these sides of my nose. So now I'm just going to do my lashes. So first of all, I'm going to apply my mascara. And I'm using the Maybelline Big Shot. It's my favourite mascara at the moment and it's so cheap. It's less than £10. And the lashes I'm going to use for this look, they look so ratchet, but they are the Cocoa Lashes in Queen Bee. And I'm using these because they're still nice and long and they're quite dramatic, but they are still sort of like piecey, so you can still see the glitter through them. So they're good for a spotlight eye, I feel. Anyway. So whilst the glue on my lashes is drying, I'm going to do my lip. And I think I want to do like quite a light glossy nude. So I'm going to use my fave lip liner. This one is Sandstorm and it's one of the NYX Suede matte lip liners. So I'm just going to give it a little sharpen and then I'm going to line my lip. So I've lined my lips and I've brought the pencil almost like halfway in as well to the centre of my lips. And the lip colour I'm going to use is Cairo by NYX and it's one of their soft matte lip creams. And then I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to pop a gloss over the top. But whilst I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to apply my lashes. Okay, so the lashes are on, the lips are dry, and the gloss that I'm going to put over the top is Marc Jacobs. It's the Enamored Lip Lacquer in the shade Moonglow. So it's like a really light nude. And you literally only need to use a tiny bit of this. So this one and the Buxom gloss, they are literally my favourite formula for gloss. Okay guys, that is the finished look. I hope you loved this tutorial. I really loved creating this look. I've had this look in mind for a long time, and it was the perfect look to create with the colours inside of Subculture. I did have a few hiccups, I'm not gonna lie. The palette isn't like perfect. For me, it's not a problem that's gonna stop me from using it. You can't really find a brand that has every single product that is perfect and works amazingly, because every product works differently for different people. So again, I love this Subculture palette. I'm so glad I purchased it. I don't think I told you, but this glitter is from Jazzy Glitter, and it is slaying my freaking life. If you loved this look, please let me know down in the comments below, and if you recreate it, please don't forget to tag me. It's just hashtag makeup by Delite. That's what I tag on all of my pictures, and I'll find your work there as well, and tag me in the pictures too, because then I'll get a notification for it. As always, everything I've used will be listed in the description box down below. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Please join my little family, leave a comment, hit the bell icon as well, and that will give you notifications whenever I post. I hope you loved this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.